Boom, boom. Welcome to Franchise Mode. Today, we do not have a special guest. Once per week or once every 2 weeks, we're going to do an episode where it's just me and you all. We're going to be breaking down NBA Summer League today. Before we get into that, make sure you are subscribing, and sharing. And remember, we are dropping the full episodes on the Apple and the Spotify. Franchise Mode with Ron and Rod Jr. on Apple and Spotify, and on YouTube. If you are here, we're going to drop the complete video content. We're going to drop 10 to 14-minute clips so we can keep the videos short for you all so you all can enjoy them in their totality. Okay, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with the top 10 picks, talk about how they did in Summer League. Those have been the big, most interesting storyline of Summer League so far. Paolo Banchero, number one pick, Orlando Magic, 6'10", 250 pounds, and he looked like he was every bit of 6'10", 250 pounds. A little bit of slow feet on defense overall, but he used his length to win as a defensive point. He had a lot of blocks. He was pretty good. I think as a rim protector, he wasn't like our next person on the list, but he was adequate. I think he still showed that he can be an offensive engine, a Carmelo Anthony-esque figure, that type of 20 to 30 point per game score. I think his rookie year he'll average at least 17 points per game. He showed that type of promise. And it's crazy because his passing is still like really good. His ball handling isn't like elite level. It's probably around like Jaylen Brown level, like especially what we saw in the finals. Of course, he's a little taller than Jaylen Brown, so you have to bring the ball down a little farther. It's a little harder to be a ball handler in the half court, but he uses his body to shield off defenders. I think he did a great job at that. He had 23 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. Last game, he was killing his first game, 17, 6 assists. Again, great passer, good scorer. His finishing was amazing. He's really good at the short game. He's giving you all your floaters, your layups, your dunks, your backdoor cuts. It was really cool to see. Him and our next guy are going to be some of the main ball handlers, even at their 6'10" to 7 foot size. He was really incredible to watch. And you can clearly see why he's the number one pick, because he showed that he probably has the highest, well, we know most likely he has the highest offensive ceiling. Let's go to our next person, Chet Holmgren. He's probably the most polarizing player we have in this year's draft. 7'3", not even 200 pounds. Like, I'm about 150 here. You know what I'm saying? They ain't that much. 195 to be 7'3". We've never seen this type of player. We called Porzingis the unicorn, but this Chet Holmgren is the literal unicorn. There's no player in NBA history that succeeded with this build. But it doesn't matter for Chet. He just does what he does. He wins anyway. Once again, going to it, he broke the Summer League record in his first game. People are going to hate on him saying he was playing against 9 players that weren't even drafted. Who cares? He went out there with pressure in Summer League, broke the block record with 6 blocks. Had 23 points. Showed you his range as a three-point shooter. He's going to be a stretch 5 in the NBA. It's going to be his build from day one. He's going to spread the floor for Josh Giddey in SGA. Like, he's going to get the heck out the way on offense, be able to pass in the short roll, and be able to spot up and shoot the 3 ball. That's going to be his game. They're going to probably have to put either a guard or a bigger wing to guard him. A center will not be able to guard Chet Holmgren. He will not have the foot speed to be able to guard him. Like, there's no center. It's going to be tough. The only centers you're going to try to see maybe be able to hang with him is your Bam Adebayo, your Robert Williams, your young athletic guys that have the quickness to be able to keep up with that. But overall, Chet has the height over them. Then you have the mismatch with Chet that's 4 inches taller than them. He's going to be able to do his little Dirk leg and shoot over them. Like, he showed the capabilities of doing that. Chet was really impressive. I feel like he's going to be that our Rudy Gobert type defensive player. Like, not as in he's going to be that good, but as in polarizing in that way where you can tell if someone understands how defense works and scheme works by the way they talk about their defense. When you hear someone discuss Rudy Gobert, what do we always hear? Well, in the playoffs, he's always getting played off the floor. Well, yes, but you have to look deeper than that. The deeper thing is Royce O'Neal can't guard a fly. Donovan Mitchell isn't even trying to guard a fly. So Joe Ingles is one of their best guy. He got hurt last year. And even before that, age started to show. You need ball stoppers in the NBA. rim protection is your most important defensive metric, but overall, you have to see, we saw this in the finals. You have to stop the ball. You need an Andrew Wiggins. You need a wing to stop players from being able to drive to the basket and kick out for three-point shots. You have to have that. The Jazz have never had a ball stopper. It's going to be the same with Oklahoma City. Now, Chet isn't going to be Rudy Gobert, where he's going to be getting fed defenders. He's more like a weak side defender. It'd be nice if he had like an Aaron Gordon type maybe player or a bigger power forward to help. Maybe Poku's that guy. I don't see it, but it seems like they're going to play him there. So that's going to be interesting. So what we're going to see with Chet is what we saw. Well, the problem we're going to see with Chet is probably what we're going to see in his second game. And that's when he faced Kenny Lofton. Kenny is a 275-pound player. Yeah. That awkward pause is for a reason. 275 pounds is an almost he's almost 300 pounds. He's Zion-esque weight. Like Joel Embiid is a center in the NBA. He's 7 feet tall. He's listed at 260 pounds. The Joker is not even 275 pounds. He's listed as 265, 270. Kenny Lofton is bigger than the biggest centers in the NBA. And Kenny Lofton straight out bullied Chet. I mean, that's what we saw. That's what everyone saw in the game. But does that mean that Chet will continuously get bullied throughout the NBA? I say no. I say the weight could be a problem. Will he be able to just stop every defender driving at his chest? No. But what we saw in college at Gonzaga is that when bigger defenders like Kenny Lofton tried him again and again, he started blocking them every single time. That's just what he did in college. Even though Kenny was getting off, he was going into Chet's chest. But then we also have to realize, again, with Kenny's weight, he's heavier than the average center. 2, what center plays like Kenny Lofton in the NBA? There aren't too many Kenny Loftons. Joel Embiid does not play like that. He's not your bruising center. Your closest maybe you can tell me maybe is Giannis as a big that's going to be bruising. The Joker doesn't play like this. He's your passing big, that can back you down and everything. But most of his game is going to be face up. Same with Embiid. They're not just going to straight go at your chest and bully you. Now, of course, they might try that strategy with Chet because they want to test his strength. But overall, there's not too many players that play like him in the NBA. Think about it. The only players that, like we said, really played like a Kenny Lofton are your Giannis, are your Zion Williamson, and his probable best, comp, Julius Randle. Like Julius Randle could score 20 points a game. We saw he did in 2020 and 2021. He's going to get you buckets. He might be a little inefficient, but overall, he can score in that type of way Kenny Lofton can score. I'm not worried about Chet guarding a Julius Randle. Can Julius Randle maybe get his points on Chet? He may be able to score here and then, but are those points going to come in an efficient way where he's going to win his team the game by that? No. I think Chet will be able to affect winning in a defensive way more than just in a standard like that. He'll help you. He'll be your number one rim protector. He'll be your best weak side defender, somewhat like a Robert Williams, where we saw the role that Robert Williams played with the Boston Celtics. So I think we're overblowing the Chet thing. I think Chet is going to be really good. He was my number one player in the draft. I still think he has the highest ceiling. Now I get that at the end of the day, it's summer league. So if you saw the Kenny Lofton game, like, okay, there goes his weaknesses. And if you saw the Jazz game, you're going to say, okay, well, there goes his strengths. So Chet literally gave us both his best he gave us all of his strengths and weaknesses in the same weekend. It's amazing. Now, what I do want Chet to work on is, the inefficiency with shooting. But as I said prior to the draft, he's not going to be your offensive engine. But hopefully, he can be your second best scorer or your third best scorer. Someone like a Paul Gasol to a Kobe. So we'll see what SGA can do. Okay, let's move on to the number 3 pick, Jabari Smith. Jabari was supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft up to draft night, where he wasn't. I'm glad he wasn't. I had him as my 3rd best player. I actually think post-draft, I probably even got him a little higher than he should have been. I probably would put him 4th now. But overall, I think Jabari still is what we kind of thought he was. We said on franchise mode, who is Jabari Smith? A 2-way Rashard Lewis. Not that Rashard Lewis is a bad defense, but Jabari's going to be an elite defensive player. And he's going to be able to shoot at the same level. But even though Jabari still showed that stroke, like he has one of the prettiest forms from a 6'10" kid I've seen in a while. is real smooth. He has a really good arc and a really good ball spin on the shot. It's a really, really nice jumper. But that's kind of all he has right now. It's scary. We see in the playoffs how players that can only rely on a jump shot, how volatile that play is. Let's think of some players. I'm just going to shout 2 names out: DeMar DeRozan, Chris Middleton. Now, those players do rely more on the mid-range shot and more contested jumpers. But the point is, to have to only rely on jumpers as your only option to score is extremely volatile. You're not going to be able to be efficient. No one can shoot 45% from the field, most likely in a playoff game, on straight jumpers, unless your name is Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. It's a very tough skill to do. Now, I think Jabari maybe has potential to be that type of player long term, but right now, I mean, I know, my friend No Labs or Najee is coming to the channel. He said that he looks more projected to like a Mikal Bridges. But like I said prior as well, Mikal Bridges still got $100 million, still in the playoffs. I mean, struggled to guard like a Luka Doncic, but so does everyone. He still has a role in the NBA. I hope that Jabari is going to be able to be a better player than that. But right now, year 1, year 2, probably even maybe year 3, it seems like that's what he's going to be. What we need Jabari to work on is the ball handling. The ball handling is pretty bad. Like, out of the top 10 picks, he might be the worst ball handler. Maybe Sohan, but I think Sohan has more playmaker right now. Is probably a better playmaker. So it's just like Jabari's not gonna be able to be your playmaker on your team, on a team that's the Rockets team that really doesn't have one in the starting lineup. So they're kind of missing that skill. Then he just can't put the ball on the floor. It's scary to be a good player in the NBA. To be a player that's a max contract type player, you have to be able to score off the dribble. He has none of that in his bag. In the words of the Twitter family, he's not a pure hooper right now. He's a great role player right now. But to jump that and leave the Robert Covington role, the Mikal Bridges role, he has to learn how to put the ball on the ground. I think he can do it. He seems like a great kid. He didn't really look rattled to me. I mean, he had 10 points in one of the games, but like, again, he can't create for himself. So if a guard's not creating open shots for him, it's kind of what he's going to be. It's going to be really interesting with Jabari, just to see how that develops. Also, when his matchup against, when they played OKC in his matchup against Chet Holmgren, I'm not gonna lie, he dominated Chet. Like, Chet was really, really, like, Chet was good, but Chet was turning the ball over too much. Jabari literally didn't give him space to put the ball on the floor. Again, when you're that tall, when you're 7'3", when you're dribbling, the ball has to come so far down that if someone's on you tight, it's going to be hard to dribble around them. That's what Paulo uses his body to shield defenders, because even at his height, it's going to be easier for players to steal the ball from him. Jabari wasn't giving Chet any space on defense. Now, the defense is real, like real. His screen navigation isn't the best. It's actually pretty like below average right now. But overall, his like man-to-man defense is really good. And I think that's going to be, again, a skill from day one that the Rockets will be able to use. Okay. Enough on Jabari. Clearly, I still like the kid. I think he has potential, but he's a long way to go. Boom. Let's move into Keegan Murray. Not going to lie. Keegan's been hooping. He's scored 20 points in multiple games. He's hit a game winner. The 3-point shot looks good. It's a little flat. It's a little low. But like overall, he's hitting it. It's going in. He's giving me Otto Porter vibes, but like better than Otto. Like this is like Otto had like all-star potential. That'd be Keegan Murray. Like he looks like the type of player, a Swiss Army knife on defense and offense. A player that's your power forward, but can guard probably 2 through 4. Probably guards are probably maybe a little too quick for him, but overall he probably could even try some guards. He's going to be that good defensively, and right now it looks like, as today stands, he looks like a better player than Jabari Smith. Like from day one, which is not as surprising. Jabari's younger than him, but regardless, from day one, he looks better than Jabari Smith. Like he's looked really, really good. Keegan Murray is actually surprising me. Now the ball handling is probably Paulo Chet's level. It's through 2 to 3 games in Summer League, the ball handling has been on that level. Now again, same with Chet. When defenders got tied up in his space in contested spaces, the ball he started losing the ball. too many turnovers, and the passes weren't great. But overall, again, he's scoring the ball. He's shooting the 3 ball really good. So he's going to be a floor spacer day one for De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell. Defensively, he comes into the Kings this year now, we know, as their best defender in the starting lineup. He's going to be a better defender than Harrison Barnes day one. He's a better defender than Sabonis day one. He's a better defender than Malik Monk or Huter day one. He's a better defender than De'Aaron Fox day one. He's going to come into the league with a role in from a 2K, if you were building maybe a 2K standpoint team, I see why the Kings did it. They just wanted somebody that was going to be ready day one. They were, by 2K standpoint, I mean that the Kings got someone that they knew was going to be good year 1 and 2 that was going to fit the team. Like what you do in 2K, you're not going to play a 10 season with a team. It's just boring. So the Kings are using somewhat of that model because Keegan Murray is going to be good day one. He's probably going to be a top 3 player and from his class from day one. Now, long term, I think the ceiling isn't that high, but overall, I think he's going to be a really good player. He'll be in the league probably 10 to 12 years, and he's probably eventually get paid because his skill set is very transferable. He's pretty portable, and a lot of playoff teams want this skill set on their roster. Okay, now let's move on to who I think has been the best player in Summer League, and that's Jaden Ivey. He killed my Washington Wizards. I mean, destroyed them. People don't understand like quickness and fast, like just like those terms. Like they're used very loosely. He's the most athletic player in this draft class. His foot speed is so fast. Like his first step is so quick. Like on 2K again, he has Hall of Fame quick first step. He catches the ball, he rips through, he's gone. You look back, he's already gone past you. That's how fast Ivey's been. Like he literally has blown me away at every step. He shot the ball amazing. On the floor, he's been the best player every game. He's been the best player. Even though he's not a point guard, when he's on the floor, the guys give him the dang ball because he's a star on the floor. He's a high flyer. He's taking contact at the rim. He's shooting with the left hand, the right hand. He's dominated every game he's played in. Sadly, he rolled his ankle against the Wizards. He was killing us. He didn't miss a shot before that. He's been great at the free throw line. He's been great from 3. The mid-range is a little wacky, but overall, he's getting to the rim. I mean, again, I saw my guy from the volume gave a D Wade comp. I don't think he looks kind of like a Wade, small, undersized shooting guard. That's a pretty good playmaker, or at least it's going to probably develop into one. Instead of D Wade was a great mid-range shooter, they're going to exchange from great mid-range to Ivey's probably going to be a better 3-point shooter. But overall, at the rim, they're just getting fouls. They just keep going to the rim. They keep falling down. It's foul call. We remember the 06 finals. Like D Wade's going to get to the line. Ivey's going to get to the line. And playing with Cade Cunningham, one of the best playmaking guards we've seen in years, is going to be exciting. Ivey has been the most exciting player in the draft. And I'm not going to lie. Right now, I would take him over Jabari Smith in a redraft. Too soon of a redraft, but I'd probably take him 3. Well, I wouldn't take him with the Rockets, so I get Jabari to the Rockets. But if I'm like, he's probably would be my 3rd player on my big board. I think he's been that good. He's going to be exciting. He's still young. He just looks better than everyone on the court. This is a league full of guards. You have to have a top guard. He's going to be a top guard. Now the Detroit Pistons have probably going to be the best backcourt in the NBA in the next 2 to 3 years. Benedict Mathurin has been really good as well. Now, has he been the most flashy guy? He hasn't. But what was he in college? A slasher. What is he going to be in the NBA? A slasher. He gives me a real big Norman Powell vibes. He's bigger than Norman Powell. It's going to be able to dunk, and he has more athletic than Norman Powell. But he's that type of mold. He was really good. 20-point game. The playmaker is not really there yet. It's not really his game. Right now, he's probably a starting shooting guard or starting small forward for the Indiana Pacers. He's going to be able to develop with a player like Tyrese Halliburton. And the Indiana Pacers got themselves a steal. I mean, I think the slot they got him at was perfect, like for the team. I'm glad they probably didn't trade up. They would have loved Jaden Ivey, who I thought was worth trading up for. But overall, I think he's an amazing player. He's going to fit really good in the system. He showed the athleticism. I mean, he's high flyer. Like you see him rise. Like he's that type of guy. Like amazing. He's fun to watch. He hasn't really showed that in Summer League yet, but overall, he's been great. Okay. Shaedon Sharpe, love the kid, but sadly, another injury. The mystery of Shaedon Sharpe just keeps going. He hasn't played in over a year. Now the shoulder tear, now he's out 2 weeks. Summer League, don't rush him back, but it's just like, again. Like I'm saying, everyone else is the same. Everyone saw the injury and was just like, come on. Like, the kid just can't catch a break. He graduated high school early, went to Kentucky, didn't want to play, comes to the NBA, torn shoulder, didn't really work out at the combine. Like overall, it's just like, again, the mystery man, Shaedon Sharpe, the man on the moon, Kid Cudi, Shaedon Sharpe. All right, let's go to the next couple of guys because the last of the top 10 ain't been too hot. Let's just be real. I mean, it's gonna be real fast when we get to our next segment. So we got Dyson Daniels. Ankle sprain, didn't really get to do much. Sadly, I wanted to see him more. I think he needs the development. We know the jump shot is poor at best right now. Catch and shoot, I think he'll be decent, but on ball, his, again, protecting like Alonzo Ball is an on ball scoring is terrible. Off ball, good to decent. So we'll see Dyson when the ankle sprain heals up. Now, Jeremy Sohan sadly was in COVID protocol. He played last game, only short minutes. We know the defensive versatility. Of course, he showed that. Overall, we haven't really seen much of Jeremy Sohan because of the COVID stuff. Hope that he feels better, and hopefully the next game he'll be able to play more minutes. Okay, he did shoot 49% though from the field in his first game. Didn't score that many points, but overall 25 minutes. Coming off COVID, he didn't have to play. I think the kid showed some heart. He's still one of the youngest players in the draft. I'm impressed. Now, let's go to Johnny Davis. Washington Wizards. We all know my favorite team. The team that gave me the most stress. The team that I talked the most about. Johnny Davis was selected with the 10th overall pick in the NBA draft. He's yet to make 10 shots from the field. He's only scored, he's had one game where he's had over 10 points and he had 11 on 11 shots. He was 4 for 11. His first game, he was 1 for 9 with 5 fouls, 2 turnovers. It hasn't been pretty for Johnny. I think his quote was, the game was actually slower than he thought. Very weird. Usually players say the game is faster than he thought. But hey, he said the game was actually slower than he thought. He said he was going too fast. That's why he's turning the ball over too much. He looked a little nervous out there. Overall, I still think he's going to be a good player. He hasn't even got a chance to show his defense yet. They were kind of icing him out on offense a little bit. I would love for him to ball handle a little more, but the ball hand looks shaky. The coach ain't going to make you get the ball, bro. If you're fumbling it every time you touch it, he loses the ball every time he's touching the ball right now. His gravity is terrible, like from the three-point line, like they're barely even guarding him. Like he hasn't got a chance to get to the mid-range, and when he does, he's clanking off the backboard. So we got to do something with that, Johnny. I'm not giving up on you yet. I ain't like typical Wizards fans like, oh man, the Wizards got another bust. The Wizards should have got this guy. I think Johnny Davis was the best player the Wizards could have took. If not, AJ Griffin was the only player I would have taken over him. I love Jalen Williams, what he's done. But at the end of the day, he's a third year. He got another year on Johnny. Small school. It was a little more risky for a team like the Wizards. So I get how they went Johnny Davis. Bigger school, Big Ten, Wisconsin, 20 points per game, 23 in games against top 25 opponents. Johnny Davis will be fine. And regardless, he wasn't going to play that much for the Wizards this season anyway. Okay. Now let's get to the next segment. We're going to be doing the other players. So some other players that I like. Let's start with Josh Giddey. I mean, is this guy like a 6'8" Ricky Rubio? Or at least what we thought Ricky was going to be out of Spain. Like he's just down the court. Magic Johnson. Over the head pass. Like bounce pass. Like this man is a passing machine. He's going to be one of the best passers in the NBA one day. He's really, really fun. Since he's 6'8", he's automatically a great rebounder. He's a good rebounder than break starter. Again, like we're going 2K language. He's like silver, gold break starter already as a sophomore. Every game he looks like that. He's looked like the best player on the court, the games he's played. As a sophomore, as a GM, this is exactly what I see. What I want to see out of Josh Giddey. He's been really good. The efficiency is still, 40% from the field. 3-point shooting ain't there. It's a really good, weird hitching his shot. But overall, he's really fun. I think on a team like OKC, again, OKC ain't winning no time soon. They won't be winning for the next 2-3 years. He has time to grow. It's going to be really interesting to see him, and I'm excited to see him. Next player, Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie's been really good. Now, he has been a little inefficient, but overall, Sky's been really good. I mean, 3-point shooting's a little scary, but overall, he's been getting to the free throw line at a really, really good clip. He's been a true point guard. I think he'll make the Lakers roster. If you ask me, he's a top 15 player on the Lakers roster today. He's again a true point guard, great passer, can get to the lane, ambidextrous with both hands. He's been a pretty good scorer in the mid range and in the paint. He's led the Lakers offense in each game. I think the Lakers might have got an undrafted free agent still. So I think Sky's been really good. Compared to some of the other guys in the league that have famous parents, I think he's seeming like the best one on the Lakers roster. If you ask me, he's definitely a starter on the summer league team, and he'll probably be your bench to third string point guard on the Lakers roster this year. I think he makes it. He's been really good. The passing again, it's been really good. He ain't the tallest guy, but he also showed some defensive promise like his father. Okay, let's go to two Warriors guys. The Warriors got one of the most fun teams in summer league. Don't we just love how like the Warriors GM just keeps stealing good players? Like they just do everything that like we would do with our team. Like they play their young players in the regular season to get them ready for the playoffs. They play their young players in summer league to again get them more reps to play. We have my team, the Wizards, who won't play Corey Kispert and Denny Avdia in the summer league, but they're playing James Wiseman, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. Like they're playing their players. I love it. I think they're getting better. So let's just go with the Warriors. Okay, Mac McClung, DMV native, one of the most viral high school players. He's been a bucket, 19.5 points per game. He's a scorer. Like I'm talking about has he lay like score. Like I've loved what Mac McClung has done. Like he's been really really good. Like Max is a scorer. What's scary about Mac is the height and the defense. Like I'm not sure if he's an NBA player. I don't think he's good enough shooting and as a scorer to make an NBA team. Maybe not yet. Like he's given like the Jimmer for that vibe. Like you can score, you can shoot, but like, are you NBA worthy? Can you find like your Lou Williams role? I'm not sure. It's gonna be interesting. He's bounced around the league a while. I think he was G League. He won an award in the G League. Again, he's just been really good for the Warriors. 19.5 points per game. He's been a literal bucket. Like flashy guy, bang out. Like he's been good. Another player in the Warriors, Moses Moody, 34-point game in 3 quarters. I think those playoff minutes mean something, right? Like he played really good. Like I'm talking about like mid-range, 3-pointer to the Euro to the basket. Like he's been killing it. He's been a star. He was the best player on the floor easily. He scored 34 points in 3 quarters and has not touched summer league since, and he should not. What summer league is for is to build the confidence of your second and third year players. His confidence has been built. He now feels like, this is lower than me. I'm going to the season possibly taking Otto Porter's minutes as a small forward. I love it. He looks really good. And once again, the Warriors got another steal. We'll finish out with Kuminga for this segment. So we got Jonathan Kuminga. I mean, he's an athletic freak. I mean, he was 7 of 17 from the free throw line yesterday. That wasn't amazing. Overall, he made a game-winning free throw. Again, the athleticism, the defensive prowess, potential is still there. He's just so raw. He's still probably 2 years away from even being playable in a playoff game. I know everyone was like, man, don't play Iguodala, play Kuminga. I was one of them. But overall, I was wrong, and so was everybody else. He ain't ready yet. He's too raw. He's like a big piece of steak. Think about that. Big piece of steak. But he ain't been cooked yet. He ain't well done. He ain't even medium rare right now. He's raw. But you're like, this is Angus beef. This is the steak I want. That's Jonathan Kuminga. Okay. Now, we're going to move to the next segment. It's going to be a very quick segment. It's about some fun stuff. Let's lay back. Let's lay back and talk about this. The festivities at NBA Summer League. Looks really fun. I saw a lot of journalists that I love watching and reading their work and like hearing their podcasts. All of them were there, taking notes, live streaming, blogging it. It was amazing. I think that's the best part of Summer League to me. Seeing all the people that I look at towards like idol-esque figures do the job that I dream of doing one day. As we all know, I'm an upcoming journalist in the field. And, when I get that first big break, this is something I hope to be able to do in my future. So that was really fun for me. I hope it was also fun for you all to see that as well. But let's get to some more fun stuff. We have LeBron and Russell Westbrook being at the same summer league game and not speaking to each other. Like LeBron Wilson, everyone's like everyone's getting right. Everyone's taking pictures. Everyone's coming up to LeBron, dapping him up. All you see is videos of people coming over there talking to LeBron. LeBron's just that guy. Like he's clearly he's my GOAT. He's the best player. You know, we've seen I think in the last ever. Like he's exciting. He's everything. He's Mr. He has the famous family. He has everything going for him. That's LeBron James. He's at the game. Everyone's come over to him. Pelinka's coming over to him. Darvin Ham's coming over to him. Chris Haynes, all the reporters are there. LeBron only got space. It's a picture going around where LeBron's like sitting there. There's 1,000 cameras around. He's just like with the Lobos, maybe it's popcorn. Like, hey, he's chilling. He's big chilling. But the question is, why didn't Russell Westbrook come over there to him? Why? It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Like I'm not gonna say it's weird because players don't have to be friends to be teammates. It's just weird to me that Damian Jones came over there and players like that and Kuzma, but like and former players like Kuzma, but like your own starting point guard couldn't. Now I get why Russ didn't go over there. It's a little awkward. You've basically put me in trade talks. I'm not gonna say LeBron's asked to trade Westbrook, but like LeBron is asked to get Kyrie Irving, which insinuates he doesn't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. So if I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm not walking over there. I'm gonna ask you all. If you're Russell Westbrook, are you walking over there? No. So I get it. Still funny though, and still very clickbaity. Thought it'd be funny to talk about. Okay, Kyrie at Summer League and at the Sparks game. We all know Kyrie Irving is claiming one to LA. He's at the Sparks game in LA. He's recently bought a house for $3 million, reportedly, in LA. At the Sparks game, someone screamed out to him, "Hey Kyrie, when are you gonna be a Laker?" He says, "Soon." Soon. Who's ready for Uncle Drew and LeBron to get back together? Because last time we saw it's the best finals of NBA history, the 2016 finals, Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors. LeBron and them come back from 3-1. Freaking Draymond gets suspended. Like, it was just the greatest thing ever. Kyrie Irving goes for 40 points in the game 6. Like, it was the most amazing outing ever. I'm excited to see LeBron and Kyrie back together. Don't know if that's a championship team, but it'd be a hell of a show. It's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be a lot of drama. It's gonna be in LA. Sign me up. Sign me up. Boom. Okay. Now we're gonna finish off with just the coaches. I mean, I think the last thing I want to talk about is just the coaches just being willing to come and see their team, and also being willing just to be interviewed. Like, I love NBA TV and ESPN. They're interviewing all the coaches on the sideline. The coaches are being real nice. Like, that was the best part to me, hearing Darvin Ham talk about the scheme, what is he gonna do with Westbrook. I mean, it was really fun. I just love seeing that. Even Budenholzer over there talking about scheme and like geeky stuff. It was really fun. As a basketball savant, that was one of my favorite parts too. Hearing the coaches break down with their teammates, how they're going to use the rookies. Even Wizards coach Wes Unseld Jr. said, Johnny Davis 1 for 9. Who cares? He's going to play for us. He's going to be good. Like, I love hearing that. He reassured me as the fan that the pick is going to work because he is going to make it work, and that's a real coach. But if you were listening to this, again, thanks for listening to Franchise Mode. This is the Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you are subscribing, sharing, and liking. Again, it's Spotify and the Apple. The full episode will come out to YouTube. Some clips. Again, I love you, family, and thanks for helping us grow at the M&R Network.